What up YouTube, it's Mr. It's Company. In this video, I want to talk about what to expect in the patch that just came to Diablo Immortal, and I'm going to go ahead and call this the calm before the storm, because this is not a very big patch in terms of content, which means that we should be anticipating a massive patch coming very, very soon. But before we get to the massive patch, let's go and talk about what just came to the game in Diablo Immortal. Let's go. All right, so there have been a lot of, I would say, negative comments about the patch notes. Obviously, by the time you're watching this video, the patch is live. I'm a little bit late in recording the video, but I do want to go and cover it and give you my thoughts. So first things first, I'm just going to cover this on a high level. We're going to speed through this. They're doing server migrations. These are servers that did not receive the migration previously, so in East Asia and Southeast Asia. Nothing crazy there, but this will be happening on the 22nd, it sounds like. And then also happening on the 22nd, which is a really big deal, and a lot of people are talking about it, is that they're making some adjustments to the normal gems. Now, I'm not going to read all of this, but I am going to read a very specific part because I feel like it's necessary so we can try to decipher it together. So these gems will receive an additional attribute which modifies the base stat of the item they're socketed to. This change will ultimately provide more uses for normal gems rather. Therefore, to maintain the integrity of the market, all normal gems will be removed from the market on February 22nd during the server maintenance period. All current rules for listing normal gems in the market will remain unchanged, and these gems can be relisted in the market once the server maintenance period has ends. Additionally, we'll be modifying hidden layers to provide players with additional ways to obtain tradable gems. So what this means, obviously, the biggest things are this is going to be another boost in CP. We're about to get a very noticeable jump in power. And in doing so, if you are a market player or care anything about your platinum, this is a huge opportunity potentially. And I do want to put emphasis on potentially because it is a risk. We don't know if the existing gems will be changing. I assume they will, but I also don't want to make a video saying I know for sure if I don't. So the risk is you can go into your market, and I have done this myself, and buy as many gems below max cost as you can and save them for after this update on the 22nd. No, so again, this is not the update that went live last night or today by the time you're seeing this, but this is a update happening on February 22nd. So again, if you want to, you can take the risk. I spent about 30,000 platinum on getting as many gems as I could. I'm saving them, and then I hope to be making a massive profit when this redesign comes into fruition. But ultimately, I think this is an interesting change. I don't really have an opinion outside of that, outside of good, bad, or indifferent. I'm interested to see how it plays out. But yeah, it's also a way of getting more tradable gems, which will hopefully mean more platinum, which will then help most of us to get more resonance or legendary gems. So we'll see how that plays out. Moving on, the update has already happened, so we don't need to go over timelines. Additional stash tabs. This has also been kind of mixed. I also want to clarify a little bit of this. So they are giving us 2 additional stash tabs. I want to put emphasis on stash tab. This is not inventory in your bag space. This is not bag tabs. This is stash tabs. So in that little chest that you have at all major cities, you're getting an additional tab there. 2 ways of getting 2 additional tabs. You can unlock one permanently for 2,000 platinum, or you can, of course, with the Boon of Plenty, unlock an additional tab. I have one thing. I have one ring in my stash currently. And that ring is to replace, in case I class change, to replace a warband ring that I'm currently using. That's it. I think there was previously a bigger reason to have more stash space if you were class changing more frequently, but with some of the changes, I don't really plan on class changing, so I don't really use that many different options. In terms of different builds, it feels like the best option is to max out CR instead of having the 4-piece bonuses, so I do that. But again, more stash was helpful to those people that will need it, and probably the min-maxers will really appreciate the most, but it's something that has been asked for, so I'm glad they added it. This massive change right here is just adjustments to boss invulnerability. Basically, there are phases on certain bosses where you cannot damage them. They note the fact that they want to change that and either minimize them or remove them, but in the developer's note, it kind of contradicts what it says up here, which I thought was a little interesting. But basically, it's saying that they are going to minimize it as much as they can without impacting the flow of the story or the content, which was very interesting. So it'll be interesting to see what changes there. It almost feels like the developer note disagrees with the move that they're going, but that's just my interpretation. I could be misreading that. So anyway, that'll be good. The overall goal here, it sounds like, is to make it so you can really fly through dungeons faster. So that's a good change in my book. Path of Blood, this one's phenomenal. Basically, you're going to be able to fly through it a little bit faster like you can with combat rifts, or challenge rifts rather, combat rifts, wow, challenge rifts. So basically, if you're on floor 7, you can just go ahead and go to floor 10, fight the boss, and get all the loot which there is now, from floor 7 to 10, which is really nice. And they're also adding gold, experience, and items as a reward for completing a floor. So now there's actually a reason outside of just gaining more power in the shadow thing. So that's nice. Now it's actually something that you do want to do. It does kind of suck that they're coming out with this after most of us have already done the Path of Blood for this cycle. Darn. But, if you didn't, this is a good time to do it and then really min-max the gold, experience, and rewards. Again, I agree with this move. You should be rewarded for the amount of time you spend in the game. And the Path of Blood going one by one took a lot of time. So this is a good change. Especially every time it changes with the cycle, you have to redo it. Oh, just beautiful change. Love that. Hell difficulty notification. There'll be a nice little pop-up that happens when you change your hell difficulty and you unlock a new one. It's nice. No big game-changing thing here. It's just a nice little high five. Honestly, I celebrate more when I get more combat rating than I do anything else, than I do like unlocking no hell difficulty, which I guess is hand in hand with this. So, whatever. Moving on. Auto follow party members. I thought this was interesting. So by clicking or tapping on member of their party, player's going to automatically follow another player. But if you move or do you move your person or use an attack or get attacked, it cancels it. So I used to use this in WoW when I would like go AFK or go to the bathroom really quick and have to like go in between dungeons. But with them moving all the the teleports or the waypoints closer to dungeons, I feel like this isn't as needed unless you're like farming. So I don't know, whatever. I would say quality of life, but it's not really, there's no quality that they're improving. It's just a convenience, perhaps, for some. Player profile display. If a player is part of a warband, their warband's name can be seen in the player's profile menu. All right. Combat rating visibility. I do like this one, but it's also the way they explain it was kind of interesting. So I'm going to go and read this one again too. So combat rating is an integral aspect of Diablo Immortal to aid players in easily assessing their combat rating. We have moved the statistic into a higher location within the attribute interface. So does that mean you still have to click on like the little button and then it'll just be on the first one instead of hitting more details? Or does that mean it'll be as soon as you look at your inventory, like your person, it'll be there? That's what I hope it is, similar to your resonance. Because honestly, I care more about seeing that more frequently than I do my resonance. In fact, I'd actually rather them switch it, but that's just me. Bounty rewards increase from 1.2 to 5 times the reward. So if you were smart like I was, as soon as this notes came out, I stopped doing my bounties so that I had more available to do today as the time you're seeing this to get 5 times the reward. Big brain. Perils of the Fin, limited time event. No real details, but it's running from February 8th through February 16th server time. As you complete Perils of the Fin tasks, you'll receive rewards for your heroics. Ranking up enough completed tasks will also unlock milestone rewards for you, a testament to your valor. So again, this is just more content to keep us sort of like keep the game fresher. I don't anticipate this being like this massive thing, but it is nice that there's still more events coming to the game where you can get additional loot. Season 10 Battle Pass. The skin is okay. I mean, this obviously looks a whole lot less cool than it does all the way up here. Like, it looks way more badass up here. But again, I'm not really excited about that all that much. But if you are want the Battle Pass and you like this, then there you go. But yeah, moving on. And the Battle Pass will, of course, change on February 16th because obviously they want to mention that it's not part of the new update coming today, but it is going to be going on later on. All right. And then this one, holy cow. This cosmetic is the coolest cosmetic that I think I've ever seen in this game or even mini games. This is a gun. It looks like it's like a laser beam. Oh no, I can see the crossbow aspects of it there. This looks hella cool. The wizard looks super awesome. I'm not really big on cosmetics, but like this is really, really, really cool. And it almost looks like it's golden red, which is even cooler. Yeah, I wish this was again cross class usable, but it's obviously not. But I'm definitely picking that one up. That looks hella cool. And it'll probably be the last one I ever pick up, honestly, because this is everything that I would want in a class skin. I do hope that like this isn't. See, like for the wizard, it's like connects to his shoulders and then comes down to his hands, almost like Storm-esque, and he still has his cape thing. I love the wizard, but I hate how they design the cosmetics for the wizard. Like, just make him look cool one time, just one time. Moving on. Normal cost there, 1,000 orbs. Bug fixes. Let's see if they actually did any. When I looked at this the other day, there were no bug fixes, but let's see if they updated it. January 24th. No update there. In Diablo Immortal Q&A, I again don't think there was an update from this one, January 20th. Nope. So that's going to do it for this video. Ultimately, the big takeaways are the changes to the gems that aren't even coming in this update. Some minor quality of life for the Path of Blood and the bosses, and then the stash tab. That's really the big takeaways, and then some additional server merges that are happening. Again, hopefully you were able to min-max this. I do apologize for being a day late on this, but by the time you're seeing this, we were all checking out the update, and hopefully it's good. And I'm going to be coming out with another video very, very soon because I feel like it is time to start talking about what the next update is going to be, because it should be, as defined by Blizzard, a major update. And if we looked at the last video where I covered and many other content creators, they've said that a lot of big things are coming this year. So that leads us to believe that there is a big update coming very soon. So without further ado, guys, lock it in.